Standing will take the first stanza of our national anthem to begin today's proceedings. At the count of two, we sing the national anthem. 1, 2. Night. While still standing, we'll take the third stanza of our national anthem as our opening prayer. At the count of two, 1, 2. O God of all creations, grant this our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed, and so with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed. May God help us as a nation. Amen. You may please be seated. The Honorable Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, Fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, must greet you specially this afternoon. The Honorable Minister of Solid Mineral Development, Dr. Dele Alake, must greet you specially, sir. The Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Mr. Bayo Nanuga, welcome. The Special Advisor to the President on Public Communication and Orientation, Chief Sunday Dari, welcome you, sir. The Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation, Mr. Bodo Chinasa Inam. The Director General of the Nigerian Press Council, Chief Dili Izuga, welcome you especially. Representative of the other Director Generals here present, Senior Special Assistants to the President here present, partners of the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation, to mention the presence of the President and Chairman of Council of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, Dr. Ike Neliako, respected directors of the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. It's my singular honor and privilege to welcome each and every one of us to today's press conference to be addressed by the Honorable Minister of Information and National Orientation. Very distinguished guests, without wasting any much time, at this time I'll beckon on the Honorable Minister will give his speech, and after which we know the order of proceedings will take questions from the members of the press aligned with the speech of the Honorable Minister, and then we'll depart from here accordingly. With that said, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this time it's my privilege to invite the Honorable Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, to please address the press. Please a round of applause for him as he comes forward.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister Solid Minerals Development, my brother, Chief Harry Dele Alake, veteran of this profession. The Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, another veteran, Bayo Onanuga. He has promised that he is not going to issue any tweet until we finish this conference. The Special Advisor to the President on Information, Media and Public Communication, another veteran, Chief Sunday Dare, also former Minister of the Federal Republic. My own Permanent Secretary, the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation, Mr. Chinasa, and the Executive Secretary, Nigerian Press Council, Dr. Dili Ezwaga. We have also Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Special Duties here present, Mr. Tunde Rahman. We have the Managing Director, actually, of the News Agency of Nigeria, the only Ali M. Ali is here. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media, Abdulaziz. Senior Special Assistant to the President, Mr. Tope Ajayi. Senior Special Assistant to the President, Fred. I don't know whether there are other special assistants here, but let me say I can see Special Assistant to the President on Digital, Mr. Ortega Ogra the Tiger. Directors of the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation. I'm also seeing the President of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations here, Dr. Ike Neliaku. I'm seeing the former President of African Public Relations Association, Mr. Yomi Badejo Okusaya. The Executive Director, Academy Specs, Professor Ike Okechukwu. And another veteran and former Vice President of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, Dr. Muhammad Awal Haruna. The list of all the big men here is long, so permit me to cut the protocol at this point. But before I begin, let me congratulate all Nigerians. About 2 hours ago, the General Assembly of the United Nations Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, meeting in Samarkand in Uzbekistan, granted the final hosting right to Nigeria for the first ever media and information literacy center to be hosted anywhere in any part of the world. This is indeed a great achievement for Nigeria and for Africa. I know when the journey towards bidding for the hosting right started about 3 years ago, even before my appointment as Honorable Minister. It has been a very tedious one. And when I came in the last 2 years, with the great support of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who called me after I had briefed him and said, whatever we needed to ensure that the hosting right is granted to Nigeria, he is ready. And all through this journey, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been extremely supportive. And so we are very grateful to Mr. President for that feat. This is not a small one. At a time that Nigeria may be facing some media attention for some other reason, today we can say that the world actually recognizes the place of Nigeria on the global stage. This is indeed a great one. Also recall that about 3 weeks ago, the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations unveiled the WPRF, that is the World Public Relations Forum, that is coming to Nigeria next year. What this means is that all leading public relations practitioners from all over the world are going to come to Nigeria next year. The International Press Institute has also agreed to hold its executive board meeting in Nigeria next year. These are all good things happening to our country, in addition to so many other things happening from other parts of the world. Gentlemen and ladies of the press, Let me welcome you once again to this briefing. And I must appreciate you for turning out in large numbers, even at a very short notice. This, to me, goes a long way to indicate the seriousness and the commitment of the Nigerian media towards the Nigerian project. We are indeed very grateful for your presence. The government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is well appraised of the level of anxiety created by the designation of our country and misrepresentation of the situation. The federal government has always recognized the security challenges that have beset our country since 2009 with the advent of Boko Haram and other criminal elements. Let me state at the outset that the government and people of Nigeria, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, have taken note of the position of the government of the United States of America on Nigeria over the alleged violations of religious freedom here. Nigeria faces long-standing security challenges that have impacted Christians and Muslims alike. And we mourn every loss of life, knowing that every single loss of life is one too many for this country. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is more than determined to confront and end these security challenges. Since May of 2023, when he took office, Nigeria's security agencies have neutralized more than 13,000 through sustained operations, and they have over 17,000 suspects who are now undergoing investigation and prosecution for various offenses. Also, more than 9,800 victims abducted by these terrorist elements, including women and children, have been rescued and have been reintegrated with their families. It is important to restate that the menace of terrorism in Nigeria does not exclusively target any religious or ethnic group. As in many parts of the world, extremism is mindless and it is blind to religion, to class, and to any tribe. It is a war against all peace-loving Nigerians and against the unity and progress of our great country. Therefore, any narrative suggesting that the Nigerian state is failing to take action against religious attacks is based
irin waɗanda ake alakanta Najeriya da kisan kiyashi ko kisan gila ga kiristocin Najeriya. Bayanin da ke musamman na rashin fahimta da kuma yadda aka baddala waɗannan bayanai.
Also, Nigeria's security challenge cannot be fully understood without acknowledging
Manufar samar da tsaron ita ce isar da sakamako mafi kyau, karfafa haɗin gwiwa tsakanin ma'aikatu da kuma kawo ƙarshen ta'addanci da laifukan tashin hankali a kowane ɓangare na Najeriya. Umarnin shugaban ƙasa ya bayyana yake cewa kowane dole ne roba a cikin ECOWAS da kuma abokan hulɗa na ciki har da Amurka don daidaita yankin Sahel da kuma yankin
criminal activity. We have made stringent efforts in curtailing access to small arms and light state actors. Security agencies have recovered and destroyed over 5,000 military rifles. They have also intercepted over 20
wato ƙanana ne, sannan hukumomin tsaro sun kwato kuma sun lalata bindigogi sama da 5,000 na soji, kuma sun kama fiye da hanyoyi guda 20 da bindiga ke shigowa ƙasar na cikin 'yan watanni. Gwamnatin ta saka jari na dala miliyoyi a cikin kayan aiki na zamani ga hukumomin tsaro shugaban kasa ya kasance yana baiwa sojoji cikakken bayansa, kuma tabbatar cewa akwai nufin siyasa don cire ragowar wannan barazana daga kasar mu har abada. Ya ce a cikin shekaru 2 da suka gabata an samu ci gaba muhimmanci a yayin da ake yaki da ta'addanci a duka faɗin arewa maso yamma, arewa maso gabas da kuma arewa wato kuma da kudu maso gabacin ƙasar nan da arewa ta tsakiya da sauran sassan ƙasar nan. A cikin wannan lokacin yawan hare-hare masu alaƙa da a cikin wani rahoto na Global Terrorism Index ya nuna cewa hare-hare na ta'addanci sun kasance mafi karanci a cikin sama da shekaru 10 a Najeriya. A cikin watanni 8 da suka gabata, sojojin Najeriya sun kashe 'yan ta'adda sama da 592 a jihar Borno. Sannan an kashe fiye da 'yan ta'adda da 'yan fashin daji 13,500. An 'yantar da fiye da mutum 10,200 da aka yi garkuwa da su. Mafi muhimmanci fiye da 'yan tawaye 124 da iyalansu suka miƙa wuya, fiye da makamai 11,000. A arewa maso yamma musamman Zamfara da Kaduna an 'yantar da mutane 11,250 da aka yi garkuwa da su. Waɗanda aka kashe 'yan ta'addan sun hada da Ali Kacalla, Wadare, Halilu Subugu. Waɗannan duka sojojin Najeriya sun hallaka su. A cikin watan Agustan da ya gabata, sojoji sun kama kuma sun kashe a wani hari ɗaya da suka yi fiye da 'yan fashi 400 da suka haɗu don kai hari ga wani ƙauye a Zamfara. A kudu maso gabas an rage hare-haren ta'addanci da kusan kashi 80 ta hanyar haɗin tsaro. Arewa gwamnatin da gabatar da tsaro a tsakiya fara ke fitowa. 'Yan ta'adda guda biyu da ake zargi Mahmud Muhammad Usman da Abubakar Abba, waɗanda ake nema ruwa a jallo a duniya, kama biyu waɗanda ake shugabantar ƙungiyar Al-Qaeda a Najeriya na ta'addanci ne kuma kamen ya nuna wani juyi a cikin ayyukan yaƙi da ta'addanci da ake gudana. Usman, wanda yake kiran kansa emir na wato sarki na Ansaru, an zarge rukuni daban-daban a faɗin Najeriya, kuma an yi imanin cewa ya tsara shirye-shirye
to planning and strategizing. And then the results. And only, just as the minister said, a global organization recently published the fact that globally, in the last decade in Nigeria, the last 2 years had recorded the lowest incidences of insecurity. Locally, so when we look at the various figures in the last 10 more years, and we do a comparison analysis in the last 2 years, you will see tremendous efforts and actions so much to stem the tide of insecurity. Insecurity, no. Except one is deceiving himself. Nearly everybody is going to grow from there is no deliberate targeting of any religion or persecution. That's not. Sometimes when this terrorist goes to attack, you don't go to attack because of the religion or because of the inhabitants of those communities. You go to attack for different reasons. Largely economic. Some may be political, but largely economic. But then, ironically, some of those communities and inhabitants are in particular religion. So now to use the faith of the inhabitants as a motive for the attack is totally off the mark. It does not reflect the reality of the ground, and they allow it. So, I think you, as leader leaders, is to note the criticality of the various action steps reflecting the results of action. For instance, how many people know or aware that the terrible attack on the church some years back, before this administration, you recall, where worshippers were killed right inside the church. Those marauders have been apprehended and are facing persecution. Whereas some people still argue that as though where are those people who deserve the perpetrators and all brought to home. Even when their wife that happened in Plateau, sorry, in Libya, they have been apprehended, arrested, and are facing persecution. And that's a little bit of salute to the fact that government is alive and responsibilities. Duties of so, yes, for us, how does information to the circumspect when it comes to the reporting of sensitive information? I was saying to you, because we do have a peaceful, stable country, especially those in the middle of conflagration. So it is our own individual interest to ensure that we inform subjects of mass communication, which is called responsibility for the press, which is the press has a responsibility to the society. Because there's no society so even when the science shows we have a duty to protect the sanctity of our nation for society so that we can practice our profession in an authentic environment, in a peaceful, progressive environment. And what the minister just said about you supporting our security agencies, the command and security, is also very, very important. Can I give you one
Merasa me yake faruwa.
idea?
Merasa me yake faruwa. Kuma da zuma yan kana nan tare. Ana
Mine
kusa
na
da
talabijin da
ina fita.
wannan na station
For instance,
ko na ku
Haka ne duka.
wanda ke fita
Eh,
shi ne kuke gani wannan tsara
ban ji ba. Na hakan ne wanda yake fita. Wannan akan YouTube.
the screening
Na
X number of soldiers
Yes, we are.
that
ni ma ina son gana so. Ani abin nan.
when our military killing terrorists, we heard that
Yes.
the military
It's on the
says
TV da radio.
or claims
Ina ta wahala na. Shi ne na jogane muryar kai. Domin
shi ne ka cire murya
wallahi na rasa kuma da na gaba.
na huta wannan sai awa ɗaya na
Haka aka ce wai mai su. Waye ya faɗa a nan yanzu?
it is wrong.
I just did touch things.
I'm very clear. See how clear it is.
At least I can rest.
Screening
Can you rest? Can you rest? Okay, so once in a while, this was pictures. But the most important one is one. So you can leave it to yourself. Let me pray.
All right.
That is
Kama je ka taɓa samu ga wani hanyar ko
that is the interim. And actually, I was just relevant to
and again, somebody asked the question which brings up about foreign intervention of stakeholders, religious groups, sports, families, and that. Let us be factual with ourselves. That is not an isolated thing. For decades before those of us in this hall were born, foreign groups are always been sponsoring internal division, especially in developing societies, in order to keep them down. Because in the world, actually, it's like a scale. It's a scale. The scale has two arms. The developed societies are up there, their scale is up. So the moment developing, the arm is down. If the developing societies want to push up their own scale to develop, it means the scale of the developed must come down. That's the reality of the scale. So, do you seriously think that those who are up there will fold their hands and allow you to rise? You must think deeply before we start pushing out wrong narratives about our own society that these international organizations now use against us. Even this narrative of why the US is labeling Nigeria program, the narrative emanated from here. In actual fact, there are some groups who are angry politically that they lost elections, and they started pushing this narrative in the US up until yesterday. There's a letter here which I'm sure is already on social media, written by a group of Nigerians, signed, applauding, sending the letter to the president of the US, applauding him for labeling Nigeria as a case of concern. Just purely for political prejudice, because elections you don't like that. administration there. So the country should go to places. Now, forgetting that if there is any conflagration, you can only go to the if you can't reach there. And you cannot even pinpoint who the victims will be. You can't. So it's a strong thinking and act of serious crime against Nigeria. Any Nigerian to be promoting and encouraging separatist movements, conflagration, insurrection, and disintegration of Nigeria. Purely for selfish reasons. And the media is a platform and they use. If they write 10,000 letters, if those letters don't get published, they have no effect. But when they write only one, the effect this one will be released. People will be
Thank you very much. We still have to get more listening more for better. Thank you, Honorable Minister, for those grants. And television station that we have now. I know this is a patriotic meeting that we, it's not just a commercial meeting, so I know that you will still up and you will still handle that as well. Having exhausted for now what we have to discuss, I want to thank you most sincerely for taking our time to come. And I want to assure you that the government is stable, the government is functioning very well. Taking note of all the concerns, both within and outside this country, and the government is supporting them and working with them to ensure that we have a country that can be better for everyone. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. To bring this press conference to a close, will please join us as we recite the national pledge. Of 2, 1, 2. I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to the faithful, loyal, and honest, to serve Nigeria with all my strength, to defend our unity, and uphold our honor and glory. So help me God. Thank you very much, and good afternoon.
Okay. I can't get you.
I can hear you. Okay. Yes, 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 I can hear you. So that is, you tell them now to stop now. Okay, okay, that's, I'll end the streaming now. Ending now. I'll end the streaming.